Let me say a few words about Ms. Usha Saxena. She's the head of the department for e-procurement divisions. And when we talk about e-procurement department of NIC, which is the National Informatics Center of Government of India, and she has around 30 years experience all the time through in electronics. She's qualified engineer, electronic engineers. She has held various portfolios. Sometimes people come at the senior level, but she has done from all the levels, starting from the district levels, coming to the state level, then coming to the central government level. She has been part of giving all the knowledge and information to various people around. So she manages the data part, and data is the key, as you know, in any organization to take a proper decisions around. So she's providing the e-governance solutions and the best practices around. It covers around 31 states in India, states and UT. She's also supporting the World Bank program sometimes. So with this, I again want to thank Usha Saxena ji for taking your time and sharing your suggestions with us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction. I'll try to do my best. I'll quickly go through the slides, show the portal, and then we can take the questions. If you have any questions in between, you can put it in the chat box. Good afternoon, good evening, hello. I know people are across 15 countries, so I really don't know which time zone you are. So hello, everyone. Maybe we are disturbing you at a very odd time, but
actually, just to disturb you. Some are in the night time also.
Yeah.
So midnight time, early morning, and all are there. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, I work with Government of India, and we have an organization and attached office under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So our organization is called as National Informatics Center, as Sir said, NIC, which is the short name of the organization. It is an attached office. It's a purely government office. So our primary aim is to provide digital support to the government. Across the government, we provide all kind of digital support, whatever is the organizations, whether it's the central government, state government. When I mean state, it's federal. In India, you have a central, and then states are all independent. They elect their legislator. They have their own policies and rules. They need not follow the federal government for all their, rules, policies, nitty-gritties and all. So that's how it works, and most of you would be knowing. Just a second. I think sharing is not coming. I'll just share it once again. Are you getting the slides?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Are you getting, ma'am?
It's again, ma'am, switching over to your Zoom screen. So can you just
now?
Yes, now it is over.
Now you're getting fine. So I'll just go through an overview of the e-procurement portal. Per se, I won't be discussing anything on policy or process part, only how to convert the policy and process into an electronic format, how to maintain all the sanctity, security, and all the keep intact the essence of the policy and still do the procurement online. So as I told NIC, my organization where I work for the last 30 years, I've been working, is into many areas of e-governance. The judicial system in India is completely electronic. We have the transport, the issue of driving license tests and all. We have the PDS, that is the food grain across the country, and we have the transportation, many things, examination system, many aspects of the e-governance is done by NIC. There is also a very huge partnership of the private sector also. As you know, India is a very big country and we have immensely very huge requirement of e-governance. You all know the example of the COVID vaccination, how smartly and nicely it has been carried out for such a huge population with, everything on the mobile. Your appointment to your vaccination, to your certificate, everything comes within very short span of time into your mobile phone. So at that level of e-governance we have achieved under the leadership of our Prime Minister. Digital India is a very big initiative in which the vision of the Prime Minister was to see digital, every aspect of Indian, life and economy moving into the digital platform. So everything is now on mobile as far as possible. So having said that, we look after the procurement part. See, where in the online tendering and the placement of contract, auctions, everything happens. So my discussion, the focus of the slides would be on that. We have around 36 states and union territory, that is provinces divided in the country. Out of that, a majority of them use our system. As per the mandate of the government, any organization or a province is free to have their own electronic system. They can either develop or put an RFP and hire a service provider, or use the government provided system which we are running. And there is a huge footfall around in a month we have around 1 lakh to 1.25 lakh tenders which are processed every month. The figures are really on the screen. I think we have processed more than 9 million electronic tenders, which is a very huge amount, which is also mentioned here. We also cover an e-auction platform, auctions wherein you can see that sale of commodities, lease of government land or forest or mangroves and all. So that is done through auctions. So those also we provide an electronic platform. This is the growth. We started way back in 2009-10 when IT was not a very IT penetration, that is the internet penetration in the country was not very good. This is a completely internet based system. The bids are submitted online, tenders are put online, so you basically need an internet connectivity to run the system. So even that was not very good at that time when we started, but with time, things have progressed, and this is the number of tenders and the value, which is over the years it has increased. Earlier the threshold was very high, then it was slowly reduced. Why the threshold is started at a high level is that when you go for an electronic tender for the first time, it's better to take high value tenders, because the bidders participating would be well equipped. They would be bigger companies and all. So that's how we started. There were many challenges, the policy related, there were huge resistance, but at present I can say almost every tender, 99% of the tenders issued in this country is online. Whether it is the government system or a different system, it doesn't matter, but it is all online. So if you see the percentage breakup of goods, works and services, works, that is the civil, the construction, which around 72% goes into that. Then we have goods and services. Most of the tenders which we issue is an open tender. There are certain percentage of limited tender, but huge competition, it is mostly open tender. We also do global tenders. The main objective when we developed such a system was that first thing, it should enhance transparency. That is, everyone should be knowing at the right time to the right people what should be known, that is available in the portal. There should not be any discrimination amongst bidders. Everyone should get the notification, the alerts, the documents, the messages at the right time. And more people should be able to access this. That's how possible when you have a mobile app alert and when you have an email alert as well as an SMS which goes in. Compliance is very important. Not only making an e-system, it has to be compliant to the rule regulation. As I told in the very beginning, the provinces have the liberty to have their own rule. I think few of you are from Tamil Nadu, which has the Tender Transparency Act. You have state regulation for Rajasthan. Karnataka follows so other primarily abide by the GFR. The defense have the defense procurement manual. Railways have their own works and services manual. So there are many, and to add on it, we have the World Bank and ADB guidelines for the bank funded tenders. So the system is compliant to almost all of these. So when defense is using it, we do according to their rule policies and all. That is how the system has been developed. We have even certifications for that, and accountability is very important. Who has done what? There should be enough audit trails. Even 5 years down the line, we should be able to track that which tender was published by whom, at what was the who signed it, who digitally signed it, what was the accountability of the person. It can be traced because we use digital signature certificates for all the users who are using the system. Secured bid submission is the most important key aspect that we hear many times of bids getting tampered, and before the time people getting known any kind of knowing that who is submitting. The anonymity, the probity, all these are possible through the system with these important features. If you talk about bank guidelines, then there are certain things, certain salient features of the guidelines, which I have put it in the slide, which is different from the GFR. So first is disability of documents submitted by the bidder. As per in the Indian context, when a bid is tender is opened, the participating bidders is able to see each other's document to give a level playing ground and a level playing competition, unless and until it is a very sensitive tender. Whereas this is blocked for the World Bank. As per the World Bank guidelines, bidders cannot see after the opening of the tender each other's document. Multi-currency is enabled, and the bid submission, the day when the bid submission ends, the same day bid gets opened. Whereas in India, we have given liberty to the procuring entities, where they can configure the bid opening date 1 day or 2 days later also. That also has certain advantage. We'll come to that later. These are the major organizations, which are using. We just took a sample of top 10, 12 who have published bank tenders as per the bank guidelines, and the values were that you have Mumbai Rail Vikas, Ministry of Road Transport. Some of them would be familiar to you. Maybe some of them also are attending this session. Few major tenders which have been successfully processed are this. I just thought that you can, at least for a reference point, you can see later that it is a real system where people are using it, and tenders are getting published, processed, evaluated as per the guidelines of the bank, so that it gives you an enough confidence that yes, it can be done through this portal. So this is just for the reference part. This is the country at a glance. As I said, 31 provinces are using 31 plus 7, 24 plus 7. We divide into states and union territories, which are smaller, which I will not go into the definition of that because that's not the ambit of the session, but we have almost 31. Out of the 36, 31 is using. We have around 4 lakh bidders and 4.2 lakh procuring officials who are logging into the system. There are these many ministries, central government organizations, public sectors, municipal corporations, statutory bodies like the Vigilance Commission, the IB, the CBI. They also use the system for processing their sensitive tenders. This is divided in the vertical, that is the ministries, the CPSEs, we call the public sectors, central public sectors, the states and union territories, which are the one using it. These are the one who are using the auction. This is just for your reference. You can see it later. Some noteworthy statistics. See what we do from the perspective of a technocrat. I'm basically a technology person, right? So from the technology perspective, this is a single software which caters to this many variant requirements. This software is one, and any changes we do it in such a way that it can be configured for use when we deploy it. So when I say I deploy for defense, so those rules which would be applicable to defense will go into that, will go as enabled into that. When I say we deploy for government of Assam, which has a certain different set of specific rules, those things would be enabled in that. That is how we achieve this. It's a single product and multiple deployment. Just to give you how much sturdy over the period of more than a decade, it has been very much deeply used. 2,700 tenders have closed at a single point of time. What do you mean 330 if I say? At 3:30, 2,700 tenders have closed, which shows that the system has enough, bandwidth. It doesn't hang or go slow and things have closed. More than 2,600 and 2,200 bids we have received in single tender. This is of Numaligarh refineries in Assam, and this is of Government of Punjab Food Department, the particular tender. More than 6,000 items have been processed in a single tender. That is one sheet where you have line items where bidders can quote for whichever item they want. Accordingly, technically, rejection, acceptance, those things can be captured online and then the order placed. So on an average, around 1 lakh tenders are processed every month. Coming to the functional aspect, it's a single product, as I told you. There are a configurable workflow with selective features which we can put on and off. It covers the complete ambit of procurement, that is the goods, works, and services. It facilitates requests for proposal, requests for quotation, expression of interest, global tenders, multi-currency, open, single, limited, reverse auction, forward auction, quality and cost-based selection, as well as rate contract of empanelments. We have technical parameter sheet with auto tendering where the complete technical evaluation is automatic. That is like you have a price sheet, you can have a technical sheet. Those items wherein the specifications can be very clearly mentioned can be put into the technical sheet. Bidders will fill the value and system will do a technical evaluation. Of course, such tenders are very few, but Coal India Limited is a Maharatna public sector which uses this feature for around 26% of the tenders. Online capturing of tender fee EMD and automatic refund. Automatic refund is a very big important aspect in procurement because when in the suppose it's a 2-stage or a 2-cover or a 2-packet tender, when the bidder gets rejected in the technical, there is no point in holding the EMD till the award of contract. He has to, if he return back, it improves the ease of doing business with the government. That is what most of the state government have been following. I mean, the provinces have been following, and that is central government also has issued a notification for this very recently. So this increases the money in hand for the bidder to do business with the government. Vendor portfolio is shown to the, as soon as you open a tender, say 5 people have participated, the history of each of these 5 bidders are shown to the department, which gives you a complete idea about the vendor's performance. How many tenders he participated, which organization, how many he got technically rejected, where he got in the financial, where he was L1, where he was awarded. Right. So that gives a complete insight into the working of that particular vendor. Automatic comparative chart, the tender transparency, I'll show you through the live site. Then there are SMS, mail alert, dashboard, grievance escalation, as well as debar. Security is a very important aspect, which is at the background, which is not known to the people, but that is as important as the functional features, because these kind of systems are very prone for, people may hack it and try to know because it's very sensitive. So we have a 2-factor authentication at the user end, that is a user ID password and a digital signature, unless and until a physical token of a DSC is inserted. India has an IT Act well in place, and it's legally accepted also, and we have the CCA, certifying authority, which issues digital signature certificate. So anybody, even for the global tender, international bidder can get the digital signature issued by any of the CAs within India. The methods are given in the homepage of the portal, and many people are submitting global bids also using this. Every document is digitally signed. We use SSL. The data center is certified, as per the norms of the country. 27,001 certification is needed. The completely role-based system. So if my nodal officer gives me role, that what can I do? I can create a tender and publish it. That's it. Somebody is given the role of evaluator. Somebody is given the role of, even the auditor. So it depends. Based on the need, the role can be given or removed. Somebody retires, the persons can be blocked. Somebody gets transferred into another department, he can be transferred in the system also, equally transferred in the system also, so that he can perform his activity in the new place. Log shipping, that is logs are maintained. Time server configuration, we have around 150 servers in the data center in which these portals are running. So it is synced with the NTP in the morning and evening to maintain, because it's extremely time sensitive application. We cannot have any lag of even few seconds, which would be of a disadvantage to somebody. So we maintain configure with the national time protocol at twice a day. Proper replication and backup. We have one primary data center at Delhi. We have the DR at Hyderabad, which is, we call it lesser seismic zone. And it's on a real time, it is transferred to all this information goes to the DR, and it is picked up from the at the DR, and if any failure and all, the system will come up from the DR. There are periodic and audits from STQC, etc. Government of India has mandated EPS guidelines. Government of India has mandated specific guidelines for audit for e-procurement systems. So we are abiding by that. There is a body called STQC which monitors and audits the software every year and certifies. There is also exchange of data with external entities, because heterogeneous systems are there. As I told you, everyone is free to choose their own system. So there is a heterogeneous system and we can use any system. So there is a data exchange also. This is the two flow, the complete flow of a two cover system. It starts with 10 for the benefit of, saving time. I will just quickly go through because most of you would be knowing it. If there is any query, you can just ask. It starts with, we don't do the indent aggregation and all because it's a very, as I told, different types of organizations are using. We start with tender creation. However, if you have an ERP or any project management system from where the indent is aggregated and it is coming in, it can be integrated here and it can seamlessly flow for the tender creation. So it starts with tender creation, testing and scrutiny. Somebody maker checker model, somebody creates, somebody checks and publishes. Then bidders can take an online clarification. Pre-bid meeting can be held. Any corrigendums, any types of corrigendum, which is all possible, is mentioned here. Bid submission, bidder can resubmit any number of time and also withdraw. But withdrawal has to be done before the closing time, after a proper reason and all. Then comes the technical opening. Once technical opening happens, there are various methods in technical opening with the technical parameter sheet, etc. Technical evaluation is done. During technical evaluation, if you want to ask for any queries or any document, that can be done as a shortfall document. And then financial opening. So if a tender can have a reverse auction, can go without a reverse auction. If it doesn't have a reverse auction, it will go financial opening, financial evaluation, letter of intent is issued, bidder accepts it, then letter of award is issued, and then the award contract is awarded and post-contract management. But in case it is a reverse auction, it will take a tweak here after the financial opening. That is, whichever is the rate. Rate L1 or H1, the rate which has come, with that auction can be created and live auction can be conducted by the department. These are the, it can be a multi-lot or a single lot. Auctions can be extended. Once the auction is completed, it will go back to this place wherein financial evaluation. Here it comes out for auction, and after the auction, it will go back, then financial evaluation. Then only names of the bidders would be revealed, that who had quoted what. System will generate a comparative chart with the rates pre-auction, that is the tender rate, as well as the auction rate. Then most probably a new L1 would be derived. So that is how this works. Because of within 1 hour, I try to squeeze in as much as possible. The slides are very much self-explanatory. There are templates for auction. You can use that. So the meaning of what this multi-lot means, what postponement of auctions, like sand auctions and all goes on for more than 24 hours. So you just cannot sit and keep on, putting your code. So what the department does is they pause at certain time and they resume at the next day at certain working time. So that is what auction postpone, pause, suspend and resume. So those kind of features and all we have brought in with time when we found that these things are very necessary. All the excise auction happens, that is the excise shop auction, which brings in a lot of money to the government coffer. and many states are using it, and it happens seamlessly. Within 2 to 3 hours, the complete auction across the state, across districts are conducted. Around 300 to 400 auctions start and they end. 80% gets awarded, and then 20 they may have to go again because no bids had come or the bids were not reasonable. And that's what our experience in liquor auctions, etc. says. The system also has few other features like non-disclosure agreement. What is this? As I told you in the very first slide, the statutory bodies like CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, IB, Border Road Organization, they are also using the system. Their tender documents are very sensitive. They don't want the disclosed to be disclosed in the public domain. So only an NIT, that is notice inviting tender, is published, and a NDA is agreement is signed with the bidder, which he uploads in the E format. Once that NDA is received by the department, then only the bidder gets hold of the tender document, and that too in his dashboard, not in the public domain. So this way, many of our sensitive tenders are also happening online. Otherwise, they were happening offline. Preferential, we have lot of encouragement for MSEs, SMEs and all. We have preferential treatment for micro and small enterprises, for women entrepreneurs, for startups. So certain codes and all are given. Suppose an SME is quoting 15% above the L1, he can get 50% of the order. Women entrepreneur can get 7% of the order. Those kind of configuration is there in the system. Well, while floating the tender, the department can ensure that such things are calculated in the comparative chart and the system comes in. There is an integration with external system, which I'll come in the later slide, which ensures that the participating bidder is an MSC or not, is a startup or not, that is confirmed through the integration with an external system. This I told you pre and post integration. As I told you, pre, we don't have any indent aggregation, etc., because various heterogeneous users are using it. So we have a facility to integrate with other system. Then two-stage bidding, that is stage one, you just publish an EOI. Whosoever has been shortlisted in stage one, you can take financials from them. Most of the other things I have already complete. Holiday, India is a very large country. Holidays vary a lot. Certain places, local holidays are different. So if you don't want any tenders to be closing on a holiday, you can have a holiday calendar mapped according to your organization's holidays or state or the province's holidays. So then nobody will be able to put a tender closing or publishing on that day. Those kind of minor facilities are also. Now coming to the other side of the coin, where is the contractor? The contractor also has to be, it is to be a very simple system, because not every contractor or a bidder is well educated and well equipped with IT systems. Nowadays they are, but 5-6 years back it was not. They were all traditional contractors using paper bids, sealed envelopes, coming to the department, putting putting it in their box before the closing time, and so on and so forth. So it's a very simple system, extremely simple. It has very simple forms, proper help set everywhere. So he has to enroll. The government does not charge anything from the contractor for enrolling in the portal. NIC gives it free of cost for the bidders. Bidders will enroll. They only have to buy a digital signature certificate, and that can be brought. There are many CAs in India. All the CAs are integrated in this system. Certificate from any of the CA will work, and they enroll the certificate once. This is a one-time activity. Once they they can see for the tenders and push, move the tenders into my cart or my favorites, that these are my tenders. They also get notification on the tenders which they have expressed. They say, if I say I am expert in consultancy, any tender coming in consultancy, I should get a notification. I'll get an email alert, SMS alert, and a mobile app notification. Once I submit a bid, I get a receipt, bid acknowledgement from the system, which has the full details, the IP address from where I submitted, how many documents I uploaded, size of the document, how many times I resubmitted, all those information, which proves very important in case there is any litigation and all. Bidder can submit any number of times, and tender fee and all he can pay online or offline. Most of the places it is online. Some cases it is still offline. PG collect, that the payment collection is a very sensitive aspect. I just want to highlight one point here. That is the EMD money, that is the security deposit, that is the not the performance guarantee. The security of the tender stays in an escrow account till the time of tender opening. So it is not like a normal utility payment. It is very different integration wherein every department has an escrow account. As soon as a bidder submits his bid, the tender fee and EMD lies in an escrow. Only on the date of opening, it moves to the department. This ensures 100% secrecy and complete anonymity of who has submitted bids. Otherwise, this is one of the most weakest link in a procurement system, from where anybody can find out that who has submitted bid in a particular tender. Because if it comes to my account, I can see the remittance and find the details. We have, as I told, we have integrations with other systems. Indian Railway is a very big e-procurement system. IREPS, Indian Railway e-procurement system, that completely end-to-end of railway requirement. We have an integration with that. We have integration with federal government treasuries. Then systems like bank, financial, all, we have around 40 to 50 banks integrated. So bidder can have account in any of these banks and he can pay the fees and go ahead. As I told, micro and medium MSME startups. So MSME, there is a validation portal. He has to get a number from there. So if he puts that number and he submits a bid, that number gets validated. And yes, he's a correct bidder, or that information comes to the procuring entity. Still, there are many more. GSTN we have done, MCA 21 we are doing. Government e-marketplace is another big product of the government, wherein goods and services are procured from that. We have a real-time integration with the government e-marketplace. Then project management systems of states like West Bengal, Haryana have an integration with it. So, it is a very need-based integration which we do. Once the contract is awarded, we also have a post-tendering module where for the works, where it can be monitored and you can see how the work is progressed, milestone based. You can have the MBOK details and the details which uploaded by the bidder once verified by the procuring entity, that is the engineer who is responsible for the work. Then milestone based payment, etc., can be released to the bidder. So these are the, for running a system like this for 10 to 12 years seamlessly, what is most importantly needed is this slide. Support and capacity building. Regular capacity building is needed. We have a daily classroom sessions, web learning sessions. This is the third part. We conduct a web learning 2 to 4:30 for the last 5 years to 6 years. We are doing it. People attend that. We conduct classroom sessions. There is a 24/7 telephonic help desk where somebody can call and get an technical help immediately. We have a dedicated email support also, from where, if you're not able to reach the help desk, it's urgent, the email can be sent and people will. We also have agencies which can provide, on-site expertise for say 6 months, 1 year, some person can be placed at the organization. So, these are the various methods which we had taken to, enhance the use and the penetration of the system. These are the few awards over the time which the system has got. Now let me see if there are any queries, and then I will show the, yeah, there are a lot of queries. Shall I go one by one? Yeah, mostly I have covered lakhs to US dollars. Most of the places, maybe some places, especially the count was left. Value mostly we have covered. Very clear and interesting topic. Am I audible?
Oh, very much, ma'am. You're very much audible.
Yeah, so I was just seeing through the question. Can the system detect firms that can debar? Yes, I'll come to debarment. I haven't shown debarment. I'll show you from the live site. I'll show debarment. Does the post-tendering process accept by World Bank? Post-tendering process, I think World Bank has not seen. I'm not very sure if they have seen that. What is the amendment? Is inadvertently missed to be uploaded in the, if you miss to upload in the CPP, unko pucho, take this call. आई थिंक कल के ट्रेनिंग का बोल रहे हैं, तो इनको मैसेज ले लो या बोलो कि आधे 1 घंटे बाद फोन करें। या amendment is missed means then the bidder also will not know. Okay, unless you put it in the CPP, that means it goes without any amendment. So amendment has to be put. It is not inadvertently means you. It is not the question of uploading in the system itself. If you don't put the amendment, bidder will not get it, because once you put an amendment, bidder who has downloaded the tender document will get a notification that an amendment has come. You should see. What was the initial solution deployed when this we started in 2008. This is the initial solution which was deployed, and slowly it has enhanced. Lot of new features have come in, and we are now working on many other things into it, like more integrations and bringing Swiss challenge and other methodology which are there. And also I think I will now share the. Is the screen visible? Central Public Procurement, is the screen visible?
It is very much visible.
Yeah, I'll go. This is the live portal. You can note down the URL eprocure.gov.in/CPP. Right. So this is like the cover page of the any book. Say if you have a book, a big novel or something, it has a cover page which talks about the salient features and important things in that. This CPP portal is similar to that. It is Central Public Procurement Portal. This is one single place wherein you can find any procurement information of India, Government of India, and as well the state government. Those state governments are not, it's not mandated for them to publish, but still they publish. First, let me show you this 2,799. You see, this is the active tenders. If I click here, active means the tenders in which bid submission is going on. You see two tabs, one is for the central, another is for the federal. In the central, it is this much. If I click the states, which with the provinces, federal government, 43,000 tenders are active at this point. So in central also, you can see, you can search by organization, any organization, whichever has an active tender here, you know, those things will get listed. States, if you click, you can go through those which are not using our system also. All the states and union territories of India put their real-time tender information here. Say if I'll take you to which, I'll take you, let me take to Bihar. I select a state and I'm trying to search a tender for that. Let me see what are all the tenders which is available for the province of Bihar at present active, in which the bidders can submit their bids. So I gave the captcha. There are 95 tenders, right? And this is the details of that. So if I give more filter criteria, I give a keyword, I give a product category, I can come to a more interesting, shorter search. But for the benefit of what metadata? See, this is the metadata which is coming from the Government of Bihar E-procurement portal to the Central Public Procurement portal. This comes on a real-time basis. And Government of Bihar is not using our system. It is not using the NIC system. It has a different system. So the which organization has published, what kind of an organization is it, what is the product category, what is the tender, what is the tender fee, what is the EMD, which is the date for bid submission starting, which is the date for bid submission ending, and then finally the tender document. So if you click, this will take you out of the system into the Bihar portal and show you the tender document there. So this navigates you to on a real-time basis for all the tenders. So the government e-marketplace bids are also coming in here in a similar manner. You can see all the bids. There are around 18,000 bids from the government e-marketplace which is active. You can go through any of them, see the details, what it is for, and if you click here, it will take you to the GEM portal and it will show you. So the landing page is one. So as a bidder, you can download that document. As a bidder, you need not move, remember URLs of multiple sites from where these tenders are published. So this is about the active tender on a real time. Other than that, what is it? It is a repository of everything related to procurement. All instructions, government instructions, whether it's of a central government or a federal government, you can find rule procedures, model tender documents. You can search through these many criteria. Okay, high value, global tender. You can find only all the award of contract, whichever is available, results of the tender. You can search by closing date. You can see the complete calendars if you want to see which day how many tenders are closing. So these things would be available. Then we have let me come to the smaller ones first. Okay, there is a under help. If you can see, you can see the World Bank video. This is specifically for World Bank tenders. So somebody can, if I play a video here, it won't, the audio won't come there. That's why I'm not playing, because it is something you just note the URL, you can click and you can see. So the World Bank specific complete guidelines on how to put a World Bank tender and all is available here. Now somebody was asking about debarment. Debarment has been brought in as a, you know, an OM is there, and debarment we can have, if I want to see active debarment of the bidders across. So whenever a procuring entity is debarring a bidder with some reason, he uploads into the portal. When he online debars it as a repository, it comes to. So I am now searching active debarment. There are around 1023 active debarment. The first case is say 3S Security Indian Oil Corporation. This is the name of the organization, the public sector, which has debarred it. And if I can see, I can also see certain details. Some documents are not available, doesn't matter. Sometimes there would be missing links and all. We can look for other documents. Maybe this is available. Yes. So this is the Advanced Steel Tube Limited. This is the reason of debarment. Poor performance in quality and delivery, and the period of debarment also would be mentioned. So you can very well find the reason of the debarment, and so as soon as the debarment period is over, say somebody has been debarred for 6 months. So after 6 months, the portal will automatically bring him from debarred status to active. Active to, he will take him to archive. That means he is no more under the debarment. But during the debarment period, the bidder will not be able to participate in any tender using their IC system using that credential. So that much check is there. But very state governments are very strictly following it, and public sectors are. In central government, the debarment rule has come up very recently in last year November only. So now they are also working. So you can see the debarment duration, how much is left: 1 year, 2 months, 3 days, 7 months, 8 days. This is. So if you want to see the archive list, you can see even the archive. Say suppose you are finalizing a tender, your bidder, you want to know whether this bidder who is L1, he was debarred somewhere somehow. What do? You there is a unique identification called a PAN number. Okay, permanent account number, which is issued to all the people who pay income tax in India. So that number can be put here. It will not come in the public domain, but if the bidder is there, his name would be listed. So that is about the date. Similarly, there is a grievance module wherein the bidder can raise a grievance. The grievance will come to the procuring entity as well as head of the organization, and he can see the tracking of it. It is not very full-fledged, but yes, it's a very nascent stage. But the grievance monitoring is, grievance capturing and redressal is there. The monitoring, the complete workflow is not there, but he can know the status. Well, another important aspect is the dashboard. We have an extensive dashboard which gives you a lot of information about various KPIs and other analysis. Say, as I told you, all central government, state government organizations. If I want to just see, these are the user organizations. I can select all, and I can see that these are the tenders which have been published over the time. Then the category wise, if I want to see goods, work, services, if you want to see tender type wise, whether it is open tender, limited tender and all. So this is a very detailed thing You can go through the dashboard of the CPP portal and see that. Then we also use publish monthly newsletters and all. So this newsletters and monthly reports, we put it here where you can see this is a month salient activity of that month and all we put, and then this is some quick tips on using certain features, which are the organization which have done. We do have annual reports for every financial year. We bring out an annual report of the work and performance of various entities in that year. So I think this is all in this portal. Did I miss anything? Dashboard. This definitely I request all of you, because World Bank specific, please visit this World Bank video. You can see that, wherein you will be able to see daily training. This is important. Daily we conduct a web learning, and this details are available in the portal. So anybody who is interested to learn subtopics of e-procurement, say on one day tender creation, another day publishing, price bid creation, opening, evaluation. This is one of the very successful programs we have been doing for years. It's free of cost. You just need an internet connection, a system, and an earphone. It is not done by an automated bot or something. A trainer joins every day and imparts the training. You can ask the questions in the text box and the person would reply to. So that is all from my side. Now I think I can take the questions